Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Childhood Finds, and thank you for joining me for the weekly What Sold video. Sales have been okay. The weekend was absolutely deplorable, probably one of my worst weekends, but the week leading up wasn't bad. That's why, again, you can't focus on the day to day or else you'll go batty, because it turned out to be an okay week, even though my weekend was just awful. I, um, you know, I just I'm still trying to list a bunch. What I am looking at this week, let me look at what numbers I have written down. So I sold 50 listings worth of items, which is down from last week. I sold 49 on eBay and one single one on Mercari. So my cross listing, Posh and Mercari, they are just, Posh redid their fee structure, and I think they are going the way of like when resellers like us, we will list items for say only $15 or more. I think they're going with the work smarter, not harder, because now with their fee structure, they could lose a third of their business and still make the same amount and still actually make more because of how they've set up the fee structure on most things, which it's kind of gross that they are charging the buyer and the seller and making more now than the 20%. So I'm curious to see how that will turn out. I had no sales on there this week. And to put in perspective, I think I have 1,200 items listed on there. And Mercari, I had the one. So I'm going to keep trying and see what happens. I dedicated to doing 2 years total cross listing, and it's coming up, so I'll be able to look at the numbers soon in the video. But I am interested to see how this fee structure affects everything. But other than that, guys, the only other thing I wanted to talk about with this week is probably an unpopular sale opinion. I want to know, how do you feel about community sales? We went to one, and I avoid community sales like the plague in my area. I don't enjoy them. They are a very much so like feeding locust feeling, just everybody's circling, everybody's frantic, cars are flying everywhere, there's nowhere to drive, you can't fit through the streets. I hate community sales in my area. If they were like town wide for smaller towns, I could see doing them. I've done a few of those that I've enjoyed. But the ones in my area for, like, let's be honest, the rich neighborhoods for the most part, the affluent, let's put affluent neighborhoods, they are just not enjoyable to me and I avoid them. But we went to one because there weren't many options this weekend and it was just terrible. There was another reseller that I know that he apparently did really well at it. So that's why there's stuff for everybody, because I did horrible and he got at least a decent carload. We went to other sales and did good after the community sale, but I can't stand community sales. I have gotten good stuff there, but they stress me out. I just can't handle the feeding frenzy that they are. So tell me how you feel about community sales or what they are in your area. Because of how my city is, I mean, they're mostly just neighborhoods, so they're not like town wide like other places. So the other stats I was going to give you, so I sold the 50 listings. The gross on eBay was $1,652 roughly. Not bad, not great, because that's gross. So that's shipping, all of that included. And then I listed 79 new listings this week, along with it was listed for about $2,150. I think that averages out to about $28 a listing. I can't quite remember, but right around there, $27 to $28 a listing, which again, I'm totally happy with. Anytime I can get over $20, I am happy, which I really try to stay above because I do list a lot of smaller dollar long tail items. So I really try to keep my average up above $20 for the listed price. So that's everything I'm going to ramble about today. Let's get started on some sales. Let me know how your sales are doing. I will say lots of plush and toys are going out the door. Definitely what is popular right now for me. So as I said, lots of plush. So we are starting with plush. This is Russ Love Pets 5-inch Cairo lion stuffed animal beanbag plush. This sold for $16.95. It very little, 5 inches, and I got it in a like grab bag at a thrift store, so very little into it. This is from my Mickey Mouse buy. It's a Walt Disney World Epcot Morocco Mickey Mouse. It's 10 inches, had its tag, sold for $12.95. Again, I paid about 75 cents per Mickey, so I'm not getting rich off the buy, but I am making money. This is Bobbi Brown Intensive Skin Serum Foundation. I found a bunch of these at a yard sale, and I probably shouldn't have bought them all because they have a really poor sell-through, but I figure I'll just have them for a while and I'll slowly make some money off them. I think I bought probably 75 to 80 of them and paid $100. And this one sold for $19.95, but it was free shipping. I found that I've now sold 2 of these after changing my listing to free shipping, so I need to change all the other listings to free shipping. I don't have all of them listed yet. That'll be a winter project. I but yeah, I don't like to do free shipping, but makeup is almost one of those ones that I feel I needed to. And it sold for the $19.95. Shipping was about $5-ish because it did go over the 12 ounce because I do box these, but probably $1 into it. This one is a Fun Farm Dakin Realistic Cat Plush 14-inch white blue eyes long hair from 1986. I believe this sold for a best offer of $14. It's been listed for a while. I probably have $1 into it. This I did get at a estate sale for $1 a few months ago, and it's a Disney The Jungle Book 2 plush Happy Junior Elephant with tag Hasbro from 2002. It sold for the sale price of $17.05. I just got this and I paid $3 for it at an estate sale because I have an addiction to brass. It's one of those things I can't say no to. I have been trying. I know some things that sell and some that don't, but this was different. Never had seen an armadillo. Cutest little thing you've ever seen. It's a brass armadillo animal figurine, Western decor, and paperweight. Sold for a best offer of $40 very quickly. This I just picked up as well at a thrift store for $1.99. It sold on a 10% off offer of 10%, so around $15.26, I think was what it was, $15.25. And it's a Department 56 Halloween Village spooky wrought iron fence, 6 pieces. And it's not a huge profit, but I will do that profit every day if it's something that sells really quickly. And these were small and were super easy to pack. This took forever to sell. This was a mistake. It's a faux carved cinnabar style red on brass vase, 12.5-inch floral design with bird as is. This was before I really kind of knew cinnabar. I knew it a little bit, but not enough to know this is 1000% not real cinnabar. I know that now. It just, there's different ways to look up how to know if cinnabar is real. So the cinnabar is going to be that coloring, but you can tell if it's a resin if you see like bubbles in it. I mean, let me show you the bottom that should have said, Sarah, don't buy this. Or my computer's not going to load, so I might not show you the bottom. Oh, here we go. But a lot of resin pieces were made. That is uglier than sin. Don't buy this. It can still sell, but it's just not a great sell, and it took forever for me to sell this. So just look up how to do it. I am not an expert, so I don't want to tell you all the ways that I've started to know, because I'll mess up still. I know that for sure. You can start to tell by quality, by look, by feel. You should be able to see wood grain structures. There's just different things to look at to know. So definitely something to look up, guys. But this sold for $40.45, and I never want to see it again. And it's probably been years. Here is Bernat Softy Chunky Yarn, and it's gray heather is the color. It's a lot of 2. I got this at a rummage sale, I think for 50 cents a piece. Sold on it 10% off, and it was, I think, around $10.50-ish roughly on how much it sold for. I am fine doing that with yarn. It takes a while to sell, but it's so easy to sell. This is a Tech Deck 96mm toy skateboard, fingerboard, blind set, new sealed. Sold for a best offer of $19. I paid $1 for this at an estate sale. And it sold within a month or 2, I think. This came out of my Mickey buy. It's a Disney Store Sweet Shop Mickey Mouse plush, a tasty treat for my sweet. vintage, and it sold for $21.95. And again, this Mickey stuff is selling pretty quick. I've made all my money, so I don't mind if the rest are going to be long tail. I've made more of a dent in my Mickey bag than I thought. Because guys, I've been listing so much to try to get ready for fourth quarter. I need to get more totes. So for right now, these just are sitting in a 30-gallon garbage bag because I'm super classy. Um, it's just what I have right now because I need to buy more totes, but I don't want to spend that money yet until probably next year because I've just been listing volume. Yeah, but my trash bag's getting smaller of my Mickey. This I got at a thrift store for $2, I believe, and it's a Santa Buddies Rosebud Puppy Dog 12-inch plush Disney Store pink hat. Any that you find in this, I think Santa Buddies is part of it, or I'll look up the name and I'll try to put it on the screen, but it's a movie that you need to watch for because I found two others at my big plush haul that I showed in my plush haul video 1 of this same movie in the same characters, and they are also worth good money. So this sold for $80, which is always wild to me with plush, but it's just one that didn't have as much as much I can't think of the name. My brain has just shut off today. Hasn't had as much stuff made for the movie. I was trying to make it sound more professional, but not going for it today. But that sold for $80. And this is a Baby Gund, my first kitty cat plush pink kitten stuffed animal satin lovey. And it sold actually quite quickly in probably a month. I picked this up at a thrift store for $1 and it sold for 30 bucks, which is awesome for a tiny little plush because it's like 6 inches big. Here's some more Mickeys. This listing and the next one went to the same buyer. And a lot of my Mickeys, especially with the tag, are getting drop shipped, which I know is I'd probably say 75% of them have been drop shipped. And I'm fine with that. Drop shippers, totally cool with me. This is a Victorian Mickey and Minnie Mouse beanbag plush 8-inch stuffed toy, and it sold for $14.95. And then they also came and bought the bride and groom Mickey that also sold for that. So 30 bucks for 4 Mickeys. This is a Bianchi waistband holster suede right hand clip-on. This was not a super valuable holster, but it still sold for $11.95. I paid $1 for this, I think, at a yard sale or something like that. And I can just put it in a bubble mailer, so easy listing. These are things I do not pick up anymore. So this is a large abalone shell, iridescent seashell, decorative smudging jewelry. They just sit. And they don't sell for a lot. They're heavy. They have to be boxed. I have had to say no to them a few times this year, even though it kills me saying no to an item that I know will eventually sell. But I mean, they're always going to be over the 2-pound mark. And this one sold for $13.95. A lot of times I get between 10 and 14 for them. You know, if they're like a quarter, I'm probably going to have to pick them up because I'm weak. But I just have been saying no to these shells unless they're very special shells because they just take a long time. Like the conch shells, those you cannot sell on eBay anymore. At least I haven't been able to. So I just have them listed on Poshmark. So they're going to be an incredibly long tail item, but just kind of sticking away from seashells now. This is a Zippo lighter Husqvarna Home and Garden solid brass from 1992. You do the date code on the bottom. You can just go to Zippo. You could type in how to date Zippo and a chart will pop up for you so that you can date these properly. And this sold so fast. My mother-in-law found this at a estate sale that was crazy packed. So really good on her seeing it because I sure didn't. And it sold for $42.95. I probably had 15 offers in the first couple hours of this trying to get this lighter. And they were all in the $20 to $35 range. And so I figured with that many offers, it will sell. And it sold incredibly quickly for the full asking price. Here is 3 Laufer Towel Magnum uh, though I think it's toll. So I think it's toll. Towle is supposed to be pronounced toll, and I always say towel. So guys, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that a viewer and a friend pointed out that it's probably toll, which I think it probably is. It sounds much more sophisticated. But this is Magnum Satin Stainless Japan Flatware Salad Forks. Sold for a best offer of 42. I did feature this pattern in my stainless flatware videos that I'll either link them in the description or I will just link them in a comment and pin the comment. But definitely worth looking for because this is 3 forks that sold for 42 bucks. These ones took a while. The dinner forks, teaspoons, those all sold pretty quickly, but the salad forks took a little longer to sell. Here is 1970 Plymouth Service Manual. All of those names: Barracuda, Valiant, Fury. It sold for best offer of $35. It was in just ugly condition, but I got this for a few dollars at an estate sale. This I got at a rummage sale. I ended up just taking a best offer of 25. This is why it does pay to kind of look at solds again. So when I priced this, even just a couple months ago, I felt like what I was pricing it at was pretty decent. But I saw that a lot of offers were going in the $25 to $26-ish range. So I went ahead and took the 25 because I'm not going to hold out if that's not what the solds are showing. So I ended up taking 25, totally fine with it, paid 3 at the rummage sale. It's a Funko Wacky Wobbler Snidley Whiplash Bobblehead Rocky and Bullwinkle from 2003. And again, totally fine with that. But it does pay, even if you get what you think might be a lower offer. Go and research solds again. I've had items that have been listed for a year or two that they'll offer me, like 60% of the listing price, and I will go back and look at solds, and if I might have messed up when I was listing it or searched something wrong, it's worth it to look. This I just got at the Goodwill for $2.99, and I picked it up because it was different. It was a horse book, and it's one I'd never heard of before, and it didn't have a barcode, so they couldn't search it before they put it on the shelf, or they didn't. And it's Hyperion, introduced by the Earl of Derby, edited by Clive Graham. Sold for a best offer of $51, and it is going international. I did have a good amount of international sales this week, and I've had some this week already, this new week as well. But $51 for that is great. This is probably one of my favorite pickups just recently. It was very neat. It's an antique Victorian coin purse, a leather, brass, metal man woman portrait. Sold for a best offer of $70. I couldn't find this exact one. I found kind of similars to an extent. I just priced it high. I priced it higher than I really thought it was high what I priced, but I got an offer for 70 very quickly and took it. Maybe I could have made more, but I paid $1 for it at the estate sale. And it was, this is why at estate sales I tend to just dive into the house out of the congested areas, because I went straight to a bedroom and found amazing items in that bedroom because it wasn't swarming already. Because usually the garage, kitchen, living room areas are swarmed for me, and the bedrooms aren't as much. But yeah, this sold for 70 so fast, and it was sitting on a dresser. This I picked up at an estate sale quite a while back. I still pick up vintage bedding and pillowcases, sheets, etc. They are long tail items, but they sell. I mean, they're so easy to list and pack and ship that I just, I'm fine with them taking a while. This was a Cannon Royal Family 2 standard pillowcases, and it sold for a best offer of 11. I paid $1 for it in an estate sale, put it in a bubble mailer, sent it onto its way. This I got at a rummage sale for $5. I couldn't really find any just like this one, so I ended up taking a best offer of $35, which totally fine with. It was in beautiful condition. I actually put like new, which I never put on my books, but this basically was new. It had never been touched. It had all the extra stuff in it. It was in such beautiful shape. I did do that. And it's a Spanish Bible swindle, and I pick these up anytime I see them when they're affordable. This I just picked up. It's a Ralph Lauren brown quilted faux leather trim equestrian jacket, size small. When I got a $40 offer, I decided to just take it. I probably could have got 50 eventually. But when you have, I mean, that's one thing I've learned about clothes is when you have those smaller sizes and you get offers, you should maybe jump on them because it's just, you're just not going to get the value for smaller sizes that you are for the larger ones. And so $40, totally happy with that. Got this for, I think, a buck or two at the estate sale. I actually sold 2 pieces of clothing this week, and I got like 10 or 12 pairs of jeans that I'm going to get listed this week. I've been making myself list at least 4 or 5 pieces of clothing each week to just push myself into making sure that I don't just have a death pile of 500 pieces of clothing that I eventually have to tackle. So I am making myself do a little bit each week. And this is a Muppet Babies McDonald's plush toys, Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and they were just, came out with the Happy Meals, and I lotted them all together, got them for like $1 or $2 all together, and they sold for $16 on a best offer, and they are going to Canada. This I picked up in my plush bag haul videos, and it's a Kamar white realistic dog toy poodle stuffed animal plush Japan, and Reed is just because it did have a few condition issues. The tush tag had been cut, and the tail was starting to slightly detach where you could probably just stitch in a few stitches and it'd be good to rumble, but I just wanted to make it clear. It's still firmly on the plush, but it was starting to detach, and I showed pictures of that. But it sold for a best offer of $22, and I have about $1.10 into each of those plush. I sold 3 or 4 other plush from those haul bags that I am not sharing with you today this week that I am very happy that I got all those listed for Christmas time. I have sold a decent amount of them. This I've had listed for over a year. It came in an auction lot of Wedgwood, and I already made my money a bunch on that Wedgwood lot. This one is just a piece that it's been sticking around, needed to wait for the right buyer. And it's a Wedgwood reverse blue on white Jasperware bell. Sold for $38.66 on the sale price. Totally happy with that. I believe when I did my breakdown, it was about $7.50 a piece on the Wedgwood. But to put into perspective, I sold one piece for $300, and I've sold some for $15, $20. So I just did a basic $7.50 straight across the board. So I only made, $5 to $10 on some, but I made hundreds on others. I think I have 1 or 2 pieces still left from that buy. And I actually sold 2 of these to the same buyer. They contacted me actually asking if I had 2 of them because they didn't see the other listing and because they needed more. And I let them know. I told them, if you offer me 12 on each of them, I will be happy to send you a combined shipping and get them out to you. And so they were really happy about that. And it's Bucilla Christmas felt applique kit Santa and Snowman. Their doorknob covers, $24 for both of them. I paid $2 each at a yard sale, but they sold incredibly quickly, and they'll be easy to send to the buyer. We're on to the last sale, and we'll see if Mercari can handle it, because you know that Mercari never can handle it when I try to show you. And I think it's going to be another one of those weeks, guys. So I will put up a picture on the screen. This is going to be a Pendleton shirt. I am pretty sure it's a cotton one. It does have, so I used the background removal on it. I don't like doing background removal on items because I feel it makes it so flat and just hard to, I don't like looking at items that have their background removed for the most part, but I did it to try to show the color on this because I did it on a wood table, so the color wasn't very clear and I wasn't going to retake the pictures. So I did remove the background on the first picture here to show colors better. But it should have sold very quickly for 20 bucks on Mercari after I cross-listed it. But guys, that's everything that I'm sharing with you this week. Thank you guys so much for joining me as always. I have, I believe, 1 or 2 first edition books that I'm going to try to do some videos on. They're those short videos where I just show you how to identify them. I just haven't been finding them, but I found 1 or 2 that I can probably do. And then I do have a haul that I'm going to share with you. I do promise I will get into some research videos here soon. I just am focusing so much on sourcing and listing that I just can't dedicate quite the time to the research videos yet. But give me about three or so 2 to 3 weeks when sourcing completely ends, and I will definitely do some good, fun research videos for the winter. So thank you guys, and I will see you on the next video.